Welcome. This is Scaosoff, an intelligent school administration software. In this video, we're going to be walking through the control panel. To go to the control panel page, we come to the navigation menu and click Control Panel. On the control panel, the first section is Set up your school information. This is where we set up all the information about our school. It is very important to set up this information because it is used all over the application to interact with different modules of the application. So the first field on this form is school name. This is where you provide your official school name. You write it here. This is just an example, but you need to write your school name here. The next field is the school motto, where you need to write your school motto in here. Whatever it is, you just enter it in here correctly. The third field is school info line 1. This field is optional. You can enter in any information about your school. Normally, schools enter in their location. They can enter in their phone number. They can enter in their email address. So these three fields here, school info line 1, school info line 2, school info line 3, they are provided for you to enter information about your school of your choice. So you can choose to enter here your location, you can choose to enter here your email address, and you can choose to enter here your phone number, depending on your preferences. The third field is very, very important because once this field is saved, it cannot be changed. It is the school type. You need to select your school type. If it is a secondary school, you need to select secondary. And if it is a primary school, you need to select primary. Just like that. If you save this form without changing correctly the school type and you save secondary, yet it was primary, you cannot be able to change that. After saving this form, this field cannot be changed because the application has structured the information of the school to be in that category of the school. So it is important to pay attention while selecting this one. The third field is the school logo, where you just need to click here and select your school logo to upload it. Once you have filled all this correctly and you click save, your information will be saved and populated in these fields. Also, your school logo will be displayed over here. The next section on the control panel is education years. This is where your education years are managed and displayed. Let us say you have been using the system for 5 years. All your years will be managed here and will be displayed here to tell you how you've been using the system and also to give you control on how you can close an education year to be stored as an archive or to close a term. For example, here we have education year 2024 and the year is 2024. So in this example here, in 2024, we've been using this system, but now a new year has come. So we were able to close term 1 and term 1 is not active. This is false. It is completed. Yes, true, it is completed. And term 2 also, it is active. No, false. It is completed. Yes, it is completed. Then term 3 active. Yes, this is the active term. Is it completed? Not yet. So for us to proceed to another term or to another year, if we're on the third term, then we need to click close term. If we close the first term, it takes us to the second term. If we close the second term, it takes us to the third term. If we close the third term, then it will open a new education year for us, and that would be 2025. Please note that you do not close the term if you have not fully validated and entered that term's information. That term's information include performance data. Those are scores by the students, what they scored in the subjects. You need to be sure that has been entered correctly and the report cards have been generated. Also, you need to make sure that the payments data has also been finalized for that term. Also, you make sure that the attendance data has been well stored. So, if you have finished the term and you feel you want to close the term, you just come here and close that term. It is highly advisable that you close the term at the beginning of another term. For example, this term ends and we give out report cards. It's advisable that you do not close it immediately. Maybe there will be something you need to change. Maybe there will be something you need to enter again for that term before proceeding into data for the next term or next year. So, if we close our term 2, at the end of term 2, we may need to enter something again. But if we close term 2 at the start of term 3, that will be good because now we'll be sure that we are stepping into a new term. So, right now we can use this example and click Close Term. And the warning is shown to us that by closing this term, you confirm that you have fully entered and processed all term data. This means you will not be able to modify this term's data, but will only be available for review. You wish to continue? And we say yes. The term has been successfully closed. And since it was the third term, it is now active, false, and it is completed. So we have a new year and a new term. So now we can begin moving by this new term, and at the end of this term, at the start of the second term, we come and close this term to continue on to keep our data, our performance data for our students, our payments data, our attendance data organized term by term. So this is where it's all managed to close this term and open another. The next section is user management. User management, this is where you manage the users you're working with on the application. Scaosoff is a collaborative application whereby it's not used by only one person in a school. Let us say I'm the director of the school. I can allocate someone to enroll the students in the school or in a particular class. I can allocate someone to enter performance data, those are scores per subject for the students in the system to generate report cards. And I can allocate someone to enter and manage payments data. Also allocate another to manage attendance information. So, as I create many more users, we as a school, teacher, bursar, class teacher, administrator, we work together yet on the same system. So, how do you do that? You come to this section here and you create a user. Now, on this form here, we have the form called Create User. So, on the form, we have a field name. Here, you just enter the name of the user. And the next field is email. The user you're creating must have an email address. So they provide you that email address and you enter it in this field here. And another field is privileges. Privileges is like the access control. If you're creating a user, the user, you need to manage what they are going to see and what they are not going to see. Let us say, if I'm creating a class teacher, I will not give them access to payments information because that's an office of a bursar. So depending on the user I'm creating, I give different permissions or privileges. So here it is described or defined by numbers. These are the 4 modules that we give access to. Actually, we have 5 because we also have the settings panel. We have profiles, performance, payments, attendance, and settings. So they are defined by 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. So if I enter 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and I create a user, then I give them access to all the 5 modules. But if I'm creating a teacher, I can say 3 is for payments, and I can say Let them see profiles, performance, attendance, and settings. Or if this user is not a DOS or is not in administration to set up things in the system, I can say that let them only see profiles, performance, and attendance. Only that. 1, 2, 4. So depending on the numbers you enter in here, it will give that user access. After filling out these fields correctly, you click here, and then when the user is successfully created in your users table, they receive an email inviting them to use the system. So that way they have access to the system and they can see what you have privileged them to see and manage what you've given them access to manage. Making it easier and very simple to work together as a team, as a school, different departments, but yet on the same system. That's all about interacting with the control panel. It is good to note that the control panel is only accessible by the school administrator. That's the person who creates the account. If the head teacher creates the accounts or the director, only him or her can access the control panel. So at the end of every term or every time of adding new users to the system and any information about the school, that is only managed by the school administrator, that is the owner of this account. Thank you for watching.